Hello YouTube, this is that guy 781 and we're just gonna do a really quick update review on the Armscor M206. As you know, I did a preliminary review. If you've seen that video, thank you. But basically, I shot the gun, put several boxes of ammunition through it. I actually shot steel, aluminum, and brass cased ammo. I've shot jacketed hollow points and FMJs through it. I had no issues with any type of ammo. Some people will be like, yeah, why are you telling us that? It's a revolver, it's supposed to shoot anything. But believe it or not, issues do come up with some guns. So all the ammo functioned fine. Accuracy. It was as accurate as I could shoot it. And I'm not that accurate with a snub nose 38. But there's also, it's going to take a ding for that because I'm going to explain to you shortly. And that's going to come into actually the comfort and ergonomics of the gun. So it was reliable. It was reasonably, I'm pretty sure it's as accurate as you can shoot it, basically. But I had trouble, and I'll tell you why in a bit. Durability. If you recall in the first video, I basically advised that I was a little bit concerned about the finish. I didn't think the finish would last long. Long story short, shot several boxes of ammo. The finish is still okay. By the way, the gun is safety checked because I know some people are going to be like, oh, you didn't safety check the gun. But the gun is safety checked. There's nothing in there. It'd be even funnier if I told you there's nothing in the chamber too, right? But yeah, anyway, so the gun works fine, it's reliable. The finish I thought was going to be a major concern, and the finish has actually held up fairly well given the price point of the gun. I've had this gun, I've carried it, I put it in good home bags. I try to test the gun as much as I can before I did a review on it, the finalized review. So that works great. One of the gripes I actually did have with the gun was the trigger pull. There's a double action trigger pull. Now I don't really shoot revolvers like that. The only other revolver that I do have is a single action revolver. So anyway, I had this and I was kind of discouraged by the double action pull, and it was really affecting my accuracy. But the more I actually shot the gun, the better that double action trigger pull got, and the single action pull was always consistent. The double action pull is consistent. It was just pretty heavy, but it's starting to lighten up a bit. I guess the more the gun got broken in. As far as things I'm telling you I really do like about the gun as far as shooting it, we'll start with these things. The hammer is actually pretty nice and wide. I mean, it does have traction on it, so it's a very easy hammer to manipulate and pull back to cock. The sights are actually doable for combat distances, but in most combat situations you won't actually use the sights on a gun this small. Another thing I do like is the cylinder release. It's actually kind of cool. It's a little bit different because it is that Colt detective style cylinder release. You guys can see it there. So I actually was digging that. Another thing that the single action trigger pull, I was really liking that as well. A couple things I really don't like, and I'm going to tell you now. And maybe one of them may be a quality issue, or just maybe how the gun's made. Another one's going to affect only a small percentage of people. We'll start with one that's only going to affect certain people. I'm a really big guy, and I have really big hands, as you can see. My hands dwarf this gun, and with a grip that small and hands this big, it actually affected my accuracy because I couldn't hold and grip the gun the way I wanted to. Now that can be remedied because Pacmire actually sells some grips that fit the Colt Detective that'll actually fit this gun as well. So if I didn't want to invest in those grips because it's not a gun that I'm going to like, it's not my go-to gun for situations. I have a lot of other options I can choose from without actually modifying this one. So that was an issue. Because the grips are so small, I actually found myself holding the gun, and I'm trying to get this on camera, and I'm sorry if it's not as good as I can get it, but I actually ended up having my thumb kind of up there, and that's actually a bad place for you to have your thumb at. Because when that round is struck by the hammer, and the pin, those gases from that tiny explosion that takes place in that cylinder, those gases can injure your hand. But I realized that as I was holding it, how bad of an idea that was to hold it like that, and I quickly adjusted. But that was the only issue as far as the ergonomics and grip. But that's not going to affect everybody. It's only going to affect a certain percentage of us. Another thing that I didn't really care too much for, it's something I noticed, and I probably already had it, but I didn't pay too much attention to it. It may just be how it comes from the factory, but the cylinder does have a little bit of play in it. You guys can see that and hear that. I mean, it's not a big deal because the gun was functioning with it, with that issue. I'm not even sure if you can call it an issue. That just may be how they make their revolvers, but it was functioning just fine even with that little bit of cylinder play. And as you guys have probably noticed through the video, I still have both my hands and all of my fingers. So the rumor that this gun will blow up in your hand, we're going to go ahead and debunk those, and we're going to call those false. That's just pish posh that people tell you to probably just scare you away from having a gun at a decent price that can compete with their higher end gun. There, I said it. But this gun obviously isn't meant for I don't want to say, it's not really meant for quote unquote like the tactical community or whatever. It's really more meant for standard defensive purposes. If you're one of those people that you just want one gun that you can carry and it can function in your nightstand as well, I see no problem with the Armscor M206. However, for nightstand purposes, I'd probably go with the M200. It's in the same price range, but it's actually a 4-inch barrel as opposed to the shorter snub nose. I think that's a 2-inch. So that's it. I'd recommend it. I trust my family and friends to shoot the gun and have it not take off any of their phalanges. And and with practice, I'm pretty sure this gun can be extremely accurate. And if you have big hands, you might want to consider switching those grips out. So that's it. This is that guy 781. I recommend this gun. Feel free to watch. Feel free to subscribe to my channel, and hopefully I'll be able to get more videos out more frequently. All right. Thank you guys for watching.